Now on the CTV News at 5, a person fishing along the Milk River has been attacked by a grizzly bear. Plus,
we can use this to stop a front of fire to come into a neighborhood, or we can use it to surround a structure to protect it.
Lethbridge Fire Department's newest piece of equipment. And Alberta teachers and the province resume bargaining in an effort to avoid a looming strike.
Telling your stories. CTV News Lethbridge with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. A man is recovering after he was attacked by a grizzly bear near Cardston. It happened Saturday afternoon when the man was fishing on the St. Mary's River. Fish and wildlife officers believe the bear was acting defensively because she had 2 cubs with her. The man was initially taken to hospital in Cardston, then transferred to Lethbridge, but has since been released and is expected to recover. Bear traps and trail cameras have been set up in the area, but officials believe the bears have moved on. Now, Brooks RCMP are searching for a driver who struck and killed a man and then took off. Mounties were checking out an abandoned vehicle on the Trans-Canada Highway about 80 kilometers east of Brooks Monday morning. The vehicle was damaged and the doors were open. Officers found the victim, a 30-year-old man nearby. Investigators believe the man struck an animal and got out of his vehicle and then was struck by a passing vehicle. That passenger, the driver of that vehicle, did not stop. Police are looking for a gray or silver Volkswagen with damage to the driver's side. Bugani RCMP have charged a 38-year-old Brockett man with a number of offenses after he was eventually taken into police custody by officers in Calgary. Mounties on Sunday tried to stop a white Hyundai Santa Fe, reported to be driving dangerously on Highway 3 as it was leaving a Brockett gas station. Now, out of concern for public safety, police stopped the pursuit but identified the driver through gas station surveillance video. They also learned the driver allegedly assaulted a male passenger and forced him to remain in the vehicle. The vehicle was located in Calgary. The driver taken into custody and victim confirmed safe. Billy Croshoe is charged with assault, flight from a peace officer, dangerous driving, and driving while prohibited. Lethbridge police arrested 2 impaired drivers and handed out more than 80 violation tickets during a weekend traffic enforcement project. Officers issued 83 tickets for traffic offenses like speeding, stunting, and no insurance. One suspended driver was also nabbed as part of the initiative. The project, which started in 2022, targets speeding, excessive vehicle noise, racing, and other illegal behaviors. Residents can help by continuing to report violations and chronic high-risk driving behavior. Well, Lethbridge police are asking for help to identify a man in connection with a local theft. Police say on August 23rd, an unknown man entered London Drugs, grabbed a high-end coffee maker and a stand mixer, and allegedly left the store without paying. Anyone who recognizes this man or has information is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. Well, as the temperatures continue to warm, so does the risk of grass fires, but a new piece of equipment is helping enhance firefighting capabilities for Lethbridge Fire and Emergency Services and the surrounding area. Carson Marsouk reports.
It's a piece of equipment designed to cover nearly 1 kilometer in length and help stop a wildfire from spreading any further.
We can use this to stop a front of fire to come into a neighborhood, or we can use it to surround a structure to protect it.
The new wildland sprinkler trailer is equipped with multiple water pumps, hoses, sprinkler heads, and built-in storage to help increase resources needed to protect the community from a fire.
When I say sprinkler, you might think of your lawn or garden sprinklers, but these are a lot larger. It's more of an agricultural style impact sprinkler. So each one will do about 100 or 150 feet of radius. So it covers quite a large area.
In the event of a fire, trained firefighters can set up the sprinkler system within an hour.
Bigger hoses are what we call our trunk line, so it lays out along from hydrant to hydrant. And then off this line, we have these smaller hoses that connect to the sprinklers, which are down here.
With any large fire, resources can be stretched thin, with the new system helping alleviate that pressure.
So one person can then look after a kilometer of wet line and keep managing that and stretch our resources to be doing direct suppression then.
The idea for the trailer came during the 2017 Keenan wildfire in Waterton Lakes National Park, when similar equipment was deployed to suppress the fire. While the piece of equipment will live with LFES, it will be readily available for surrounding communities when needed.
So there's mutual aid contracts in place with some of our surrounding partners. This is available as part of that package. So it's set up for our in-town use and out in the county.
The department says with hydrant availability and challenging landscape terrain, the sprinkler system will add another line of defense from a fire.
In a rural environment, you also have isolated houses or structures that are at risk. This is a good fit for those kind of isolated at-risk structures with water nearby.
Carson Marsouk, CTV News, Lethbridge.
The new trailer comes with a price tag of $137,000, and it is the first of the kind for the department. It will be especially effective in the River Valley, where there are few fire hydrants. And with the hot weather in the forecast, staff at Henderson Outdoor Pool will be staying open a week longer to help residents beat the heat. While the pool usually closes on Labor Day, Recreation Excellence Lethbridge has announced the pool will remain open all of next week. The pool will operate from noon until 7 p.m. every day. Henderson will officially close for the season September the 7th. The city says the Legacy Spray Park will also remain open until the 7th, while the Gyro Spray Park in Galt Gardens will be turned off on September the 2nd. And here to talk about that hot forecast is the lovely and talented Danielle Savoni.
You're happy with me today, Jack.
I am, but it's hot. It's hot, Danielle.
It's hot, yes. So drink lots of water. If you are affected by the heat, definitely maybe don't be in the direct sunlight during those core hours. But hopefully you're enjoying this summer weather while we have it, you know, for the last week before school starts for all the kiddies, and nice outdoor weather. Okay, there's some activity going on in the mountains, but none of this is materializing to anything because it's so stable. So it's stable. We talked about heat warnings likely being issued for some communities, so that has now started. Empress over to Calgary. Now it's going to be just as hot in the south, in the far south, but we are looking at different criteria for heat warnings to be issued. So it's 32 degrees right now in Lethbridge. It's sunny, and you can see lots of 30s, Lethbridge and through Milk River and Medicine Hat, Pincher Creek as well at 31 at this point. Your full forecast is coming up, Jackie.
All right, thanks, Danielle. Alberta YWCAs are launching a social media awareness campaign urging parents to opt in to sexual health education this year. New provincial legislation requires parental consent starting this fall. In the past, it's been an opt-out policy rather than opt-in. The YWCA's campaign highlights how sexual health education helps youth build healthy relationships, understand consent, develop empathy, and prevent gender-based violence. Each school will have its own process for collecting consent, but parents and caregivers should receive communication this fall. If a consent form is not returned, students will not be allowed to participate in the lessons.
Given our larger newcomer population in Calgary, we're going to see issues like language barriers and understanding of what the curriculum is. We're going to see it make it easy for people to miss forms. As parents, we get a lot of forms in backpacks at the beginning of the year, and those things are easy to miss.
The province says parents should be fully informed and engaged in their child's education. The changes strengthen parental involvement. Alberta teachers and the province resumed bargaining today in an effort to avoid a looming strike. Teachers across the province voted overwhelmingly in favor of a strike in June. Sticking points include growing class sizes, support for students with complex needs, and wages. Premier Danielle Smith claims public education in Alberta has more than enough funding to address the issues and questions how school boards are managing their money. The president of the Alberta Teachers Association disagrees with the Premier's comments, saying school boards must abide by a strict funding formula.
A formula that they get that they're only allowed to spend so much money on central office and administration. So I'm not quite sure where that comment comes from.
I think that is the Premier trying to pass the buck here when really the responsibility of underfunding our schools lies with her government.
If no deal is reached, teachers have until October the 7th to hit the picket lines and must give 72 hours notice. The group representing the province at the bargaining table will be voting Friday about whether to lock out teachers. Construction is continuing on the Whoop Up Drive Bridge rehabilitation project. Crews poured high-performance concrete for the bridge's expansion joints earlier today to minimize vibration and ensure integrity of the pour. A temporary speed reduction has been put in place for westbound motorists. Speed has been reduced to 30 kilometers per hour and will be in place until Friday. Applications for a new transit advisory committee are now open. The committee from the city says that they will be meeting quarterly with city representatives to brainstorm new ideas and recommend ways to improve public transit in Lethbridge. Lethbridge Transit says the new committee will help ensure residents and riders are heard, understood, and addressed. Transit has seen a 10% growth in the second quarter of this year and is looking to expand its hours.
By getting a big group together that has different needs, different perspectives, different experiences, they can hear from each other what works for other groups or what doesn't work for these different groups, and they also hear other people's perspectives. It's not just my perspective only. We're trying to accommodate all groups with all needs on Lethbridge Transit.
Applications can be submitted on the city's website until September the 30th. Well, the price of homes in Lethbridge continues to increase year over year. According to a new report by the Alberta Real Estate Association, a detached home in the city sold for an average of $484,000 in July. That's up about 10% on an annual basis. Semi-detached homes went for an average of $356,000 last month, a 4% increase from 2024. Apartments had by far the greatest increase in final prices by percentage, going up 34% to $251,000. The association says 202 homes were sold last month. 238 new listings were added. Lethbridge County has opened nominations for the Local Farm Family Award. Residents can nominate a deserving local farm family for the 2026 BMO Farm Family Award, given out annually at the Calgary Stampede. The county says farm families are the heart of rural communities and an integral part of the engine driving southern Alberta's economy. To be eligible, families must be actively involved in primary agriculture and derive the majority of their income from farming. Nominations can be submitted on the county's website until September the 30th. It is already time for our first break. When we return, Danielle has the 5-day forecast, plus the story of a woman who trained her dog to detect gluten.
All right, your sky cam facing southwest. It's a stunning day today. It's a hot day. Hopefully you can handle the heat. You're enjoying the heat. We haven't had this stretch of weather much this summer at all. Just one other stretch where we had such a long period of time where we're not getting a bunch of rainfall and much colder temperatures. I will say though, by Friday, you'll notice quite a difference in the temperature. We may even get a little bit of rainfall as well. I'll show you that longer range in just a moment. 28 was the high so far in Calgary, 30 in Edmonton, and well into the 30s in much of the far south. So just above 30 in Pincher Creek, Milk River, and Lethbridge and Medicine had at 33. We will likely tack on a degree or two to these temperatures for tomorrow in many areas, at least. Now there's no heat warning in place, and that's because again the criteria is different. So it's just as hot in the far south as it is in all of these areas, for example, if not hotter, but it doesn't quite meet the warning criteria. The reason I'm telling you this is, of course, this is heat to take seriously. You have to be smart in this heat, drink lots of water, make sure you're not staying in the direct sunlight for too long if you're getting too hot. Okay, but Calgary is under the heat warning. Standard, Drumheller, Coronation Empress. And there's no statement in place for the south, but again, this is that warning criteria. So for areas north of Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, you just have to have 2 consecutive days with a high of 29 and an overnight low at least 14 to spark up this heat warning. But for the far south, it has to be 32 degrees for a daytime high. Now we're at that point, so we're getting those daytime highs, but the overnight low to spark the heat warning for Lethbridge over to Medicine Hat is really looking at an overnight low of at least 16, and we'll be just below that for these next couple nights. So you can get a bit of relief in the overnight hours at least. Open the window, let the breeze in. Okay, here's that ridge of high pressure. While it will be in place for really the rest of this week, we'll notice a little low sneak in from the south, and that will arrive on, well, we'll even see some cloud cover from this on Thursday, and we'll see maybe a little bit of rainfall in the far south on Friday. So there's a little bit of instability way in the mountains, but it's so stable that it won't be able to amount to anything, and I'll show you this in the futurecast here. As you can see, just some cloud cover will creep in tomorrow at times, but it will be mainly sunny with some cloudy periods in the far south. And then by the time we get into Thursday, it will be mainly cloudy on Thursday. And then Friday, you can see that rainfall to the south in the States. That will likely pump in a couple showers in some communities over Lethbridge, over to Medicine Hat. We have a small chance of that for Friday. And the temperatures will not be as warm or as hot. So if you need some relief, well, there you go. East Kootenay, 32 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud for tomorrow. Crow's Nest Pass, 30. Should be all sunshine for tomorrow. Medicine Hat, 34 degrees, and again, all sunshine. So it's a very hot day for tomorrow. 33 for Lethbridge tomorrow. You may notice some cloudy periods, but overall it will be mainly sunny. Thursday, 30 degrees. We won't let the clouds increase, and a reasonable 25 with a small chance of showers by Friday.
Celiac disease affects 300,000 Canadians. It means eating gluten can harm your small intestine. Now, many seek help in special products, but one woman in San Diego, California, says she is leaning on her dog to keep her diet in check. Here's Danny New.
How did I get my gluten detection dog? I trained her.
This is Suki, a certified cutie and a certified gluten detection dog.
How essential is Suki to your life?
She is such a game changer for me.
For California's Kendra Williams here, who has celiac disease.
Good girl.
Her 5-year-old Portuguese water dog has been trained to smell mom's food and give the signal if there are any traces of gluten, a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye. According to the Cleveland Clinic, when you ingest gluten with celiac disease, your immune system starts attacking the gluten, damaging your small intestine. Around 3 million Americans have this autoimmune disease.
Yes.
So when Kendra goes out to eat, for example, Suki will boop her if the food is safe, and if it's not, Suki will alert Kendra with a little paw action.
Most importantly, it's how you read the dog's body language.
Back in 2017, when Kendra was first diagnosed in her late 40s, she says even a breadcrumb could suddenly cause internal damage and leave her sick for weeks.
Good sit.
So in the 2020 lockdown, Kendra decided to use that time to adopt and train a 10-week-old doggy detective. For 2 years, they took online courses together with a special trainer, and within the first year, Suki could already help with a perhaps surprising gluten container, medicine. 5 years later, not only is Suki helping Kendra eat safely all over the country, but she's also become pretty famous now. This video from earlier this month has more than 10 million views, with one commenter writing, "Not only would I trust Suki with my food, I trust her to be my power of attorney."
It took a lot of work to get here, but she is a wonderful girl.
And Kendra has now also established a side business called Celiac Service Dogs, where she gives people resources for exploring if they would like to train a gluten detection dog. Because needless to say, she says it is not easy, those 2 years of training. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Still ahead on the CTV News at 5. It's been a big year for women in sports. We are back with that story in 2 minutes. "2025 has been an incredible year for Canadian athletes, particularly the women." CTV's John Benavalli Rao reports.
For Brooke Henderson, it was a moment to embrace after a masterful performance on home soil.
The comeback is complete.
The pride of Smith Falls, Ontario, back on top and showing once more why she's Canada's most successful golfer ever.
This week was beyond special. To be able to finish it off and hoist the trophy again is extremely cool. It feels super surreal still.
The win marking her 14th on the LPGA Tour and ending a 2-year drought. She first won the Canadian Women's Open in 2018, and to do it again at age 27 is remarkable.
I'm just super excited that this actually happened. It's like a dream come true again.
You can't help but reflect on how, the young up-and-coming talent has been inspired by Brooke's accomplishments.
Look at McIntosh go. That accomplishment follows others by women athletes this year.
Isn't she amazing?
Including Toronto's Summer McIntosh, who made a splash in Singapore, claiming 4 gold medals at the World Aquatics Championship. And then there's Victoria Mboko, also 18, who weeks ago stunned the tennis world, winning at the Canadian Open in Montreal. Though today fell short of expectations as she appeared at the U.S. Open for the first time, dominated by her Czech opponent, a 2-time Grand Slam champion. Still, for Canadian women in sport, overall, it's been an incredible and inspirational run.
What we can speak to is hoping that this is going to change participation rates for girls in sport in the future. If they can see it, they can be it, and they can be the next Brooke, Victoria, or Summer.
As for Brooke Henderson, she kept saying her latest victory seems surreal, calling it a huge win for Canada and Canadian golf. John Venevalley-Rouse, CTV News, Toronto.
Henrik and Daniel Sadine made their mark on the ice with the Vancouver Canucks, and now the next generation is stepping into the spotlight, but this time it's on the soccer pitch. Henrik Sadine's son Walter has been named to Canada's U18 men's soccer roster. The 18-year-old midfielder currently plays for Swedish club Hammarby U19 in Stockholm. Canada Soccer says Walter will join the team for 2 friendly games against Finland and Switzerland next month. With both Swedish and Canadian eligibility, he could have played for either side, but for now he will be wearing red and white for Canada. An American daredevil has become the first person to sky surf San Francisco's Bay Bridge. Sean McCormick leapt from a helicopter more than 1,600 meters above the bay. Sky surfing is a form of skydiving where athletes descend with a board strapped to their feet, performing aerial maneuvers as though surfing through the air. Well, this kid didn't only get taken out to the ball game, he had all the snacks. Cameras caught this toddler stuffing his face with popcorn from a bag that was almost the size of his body. This was during the Mariners and Athletics game on Sunday. MLB posted the clip rating, "No chance you had a better day than this kid." Still ahead on the CTV News at 5, big news for Swifties. The engagement rumors are true. After 2 years of dating, music superstar Taylor Swift will be walking down the aisle with NFL superstar Travis Kelce.
That the love that you're looking for is the love that you had.
Their engagement confirmed in a joint Instagram photo with several posts with the caption, "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married." In one picture, Kelce is seen on one knee and presenting Swift with an engagement ring. She also shared a close-up of the ring. No word on wedding plans as of yet. Well, thank you for sharing this time with us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.